All right, everyone, we've got some super special guests on. I love following their content, although I have to turn on the captions to read it, but still, some really good OPR content that they produce. It's the ChaîneSword channel. How you guys doing?
We are doing great, and what about you?
I am doing good. I'm doing good. Just trying to get through a busy week. It's you know how that life can be, but yeah. I've been really interested to watch your channel as of late because you guys are covering some of the OPR factions, and y'all are really getting in depth into the weeds about I would say some of the competitive side of things. So yeah, I've just been enjoying your content. I'm looking forward to Adepticon. I don't know if you guys follow in America where they have Adepticon coming out right now. So we have some big news coming in. So, but yeah, maybe we can just for those who haven't heard about you before, maybe y'all can tell us a little bit about your history in wargaming and how you sort of came to do this whole YouTube thing.
Oh, it's gonna take so long.
You have the whole day?
You start or I do it?
Or the same.
Okay. We start wargaming in the mid 90s, I believe,
Mm.
around 1995,
During the second version of Warhammer 40k
second edition.
edition.
And we play mainly Games Workshop games until 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago. And then, like many people, we get extremely boring by the Games Workshop games, complicated. And that's the moments we start to change our game plan and start playing OPR, which is extremely more
So much
simple
fun.
and funnier. But yeah, we play for since a long time, and
We also play an organized tournament on the 40k side.
Yeah, yeah,
But after many years, we're so boring about that.
yeah,
yeah.
the competitive community starts to become too competitive for our taste. So we'd rather play another game when we can have fun, which is the main reason we play.
Yeah. Well, like it's
If it's not funny, stop doing it.
yeah, it's interesting that y'all use the word boring when y'all are talking about 40K because I think that's sometimes overlooked when we talk about 40K is that this sort of hyper competitive meta where you play the same armies over and over, it does get a little
Exactly.
boring. Yeah, it's like
That's
you
the point.
yeah. It's almost like a game that isn't balanced produces a boring meta because you know like when someone plays an army, you know exactly the crazy nuts combo that they're gonna bring.
Yeah,
And
if you don't want to get crushed, you always have to play the same things all over again.
yeah, yeah. And that's interesting.
Until the FAQ change or until the rules.
Yeah. So about 3 years ago, so that was ninth edition 40K, correct? Was that around there?
That's right.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't care.
Yeah. Well,
You're right.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, and I've heard now I got out around sixth edition, but I've heard that it sort of continued to just go downhill from there. Mira, I need you
Truth
to be
is,
quiet.
the
Don't.
ninth edition was absolutely horrendous, so we stopped playing it. And we heard about the so the outcome of the 10th edition. So we just thought to ourselves, why don't we try another game while waiting for the 10th edition, and let's see. And when the 10th edition came out, it was almost as bad as the ninth. So we stay in
Yeah,
OPR because it's better game.
yeah. When did y'all find OPR? So was it around 3 years ago?
Yes. We start with Kill Team because it was a little game with a little number of models to start the war game again. but we found OPR on internet.
Yeah.
First with the PDF.
That's right.
It was
Wasn't very good.
voilà. And next we found the application Army Forge.
Which is extremely good.
Yes, yes.
I don't understand. After 3 years, I don't understand how Games Workshop cannot
Do the same
do
thing.
the same thing.
Well, and it's fascinating because I talked to, because OPR it's really drawing in people who would never. And that's what the great thing about it. They would never play war games. Like they would never play a GW game, but for OPR, but for OPR, it's accessible enough to them that they're able to play. And it's funny because they're like, oh, doesn't it's like they're almost spoiled. It's like, oh wait, other games don't have like an app like Army Forge, and I'm like, no, like everything is like. So it's funny to have this OPR is bringing in this new generation of gamers who are really sort of spoiled to like, wait, you don't have an awesome for me to build my army. Yeah, so I love it, and I love that because it's the new gamers aren't going to that OPR brings in. They are just going to put up with some of the crap that us guys who've been with GW. I've been with them in second edition too. We got in at the same time. That they don't care. Like they're like, nope, forget you.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's funny you say that because in France, that's mainly the, let's say, old wargamers that came from 40k to OPR. It's not that common that we have new players. Unfortunately, new players mainly play 40k and then realize that it sucks and they came to OPR, but it's on rare occasions that the people start with OPR.
I would say it's definitely it's a rarer, but I've seen enough of new players come in. At least hopefully it'll happen with you, where in our gaming group we really have been getting. Now a lot of them are 40k like myself, but we have been getting some brand new players who are just like, oh yeah, this is cool, and they're like, oh yeah, I would never have gotten into 40. Like they've looked at 40k in the past and they've been like, it's too much, it's too much.
In our club, we have
like a dozen people.
Well, 10 players,
Mm-hmm.
10 real players, and only 2 of them never practice any wargame.
Before.
Oh wow, yeah.
All the other players, we are all...
From 40k.
That's right.
Okay, really cool.
Which means that 80% of us are former 40k players.
Well, that is that is good in the sense that I wonder how many of those 40k players, if not for OPR, would have basically stopped wargaming. They would have just been like, there's no other alternative. I don't want to play 40k. I'm just going to play video games or something, or go, do something.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. We don't have enough time to play 40k because the one game is like 4-5 hours, and we don't have time. We have families. We have jobs to do.
Really?
Yes.
Which means it's a simpler and shorter game is always better for old player, if I could say that.
Let me say something. This sort of game is better for adults.
Yeah.
I would say old man, but yeah, okay, adults.
Well, I want to get your thought on, because this is my opinion. I actually think that OPR is just a better game than 40k from a tactical standpoint, because I feel 40k, it's all about just the list building, and it's all about just the combos that you're trying to get off, and with all these abilities, there's very little, like, you sort of almost know how the game is going to play out, and it's just the dice basically it. There's very little.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, I stand by that. Like, I don't like when people criticize OPR as being, oh, that's a casual game. I think it's a really, really solid game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You need some skills to play well at OPR. For 40k, you just need to know how to read and to do the math. That's all.
Google best codex and then spend $3,000 to get that army
And best
good.
army list, and everything's done.
Yeah.
No, you have to know how to play a war game to really be a good player at OPR.
Mhm.
It takes time, and that's good because you improve yourself every time you play.
Yeah, I like it.
And you can try new army lists and try to master them, and that's great.
You learn something when you play OPR. You learn.
And
Always learn something.
Yeah.
Even if you win or lose, doesn't matter. You always learn something.
you never get bored. And that's a good point.
Well, and that's why I wanted to really get you guys on, because I think that you have a similar, like, I don't know that some people do OPR content from a casual perspective, and that's all great. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, but I've always loved your channel's videos because you really dig into the nitty gritty about, like, okay, you see it as a let's get better, and I love that aspect. I think there's nothing wrong, like, with playing the game, and is it's a skill, right, in learning. I've really been enjoying some of your battle report analysis lately, and also your tournament reports. So I was going to say, how's the tournament scene
Thank
going?
you, Dan.
Yeah.
We love you.
Oh, thank
We
you.
love.
I wish I could do, and I get jealous because you guys go to more tournaments than I do. So yeah, I really, I'm sort of living vicariously through you. But how's the tournament scene going over there?
We try to organize us because in France it's quite different due to the distances.
Yeah. It's a smaller country.
It's a smaller country.
It's easier for us to go play somewhere else.
If you want to play a tournament, we have to do only 2 or 3 hours of road, so it's easier for us.
Yeah.
But if you want to play, if you want to make tournaments, you have also to organize them. So we can do it because we have a lot of tables at the club, and also we have a lot of players. But you have to change your mind to
Meet new players.
Meet new players.
So it's as you say, that's easier for us. You're never far from nothing in France. I mean, in 5 hours you are at the other side of the country. In America, in 5 hours you are in the next state. So it's
Yes,
not the same
exactly.
thing.
You see the advantage to live in a smaller country?
Oh yeah. I mean, I went to England once. I went for the Worlds Beyond thing, and it's so cool to see that, like, not only other countries, it's like how close France and England are all together. It's like, wow, it's so cool, and like for us, I live in like Texas, so it's like, I think they were saying that like Texas is almost as big as like Europe, and it's like, jeez.
Plus, we like playing tournaments with this game because we met new people, and especially people are not here to win no matter what. They're here to have fun, to play, to learn, why not? But not to win at all costs.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand that. It's not but a bad thing to want to win. But you have to win with
the good state of mind.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And we enjoy every tournament we've been to. That's why we talk about them, because that was always great. You meet extremely nice people, and you have
organization, beers
mainly. but that's why we enjoy your players' life actually, because you always meet new people and new way to play, and we never get tired.
Yeah.
Plus, we don't have that many road to do.
No, that sounds. I want to move to France here. I do. I think that's.
Hey,
cool.
you're welcome. Please come.
Now, one thing you do a lot, and this is something I really enjoy too, is you do faction breakdowns, but you actually like you really get into the nitty gritty about army list building, about the way the faction plays. I turn on the captions so I read them, but I really enjoy it. It's like I said, it's nice to see someone. And I see this more and more. I see like Don't Think Just Charge is starting to do this, and you guys. It's really good to see some of the more tactical side coming out, and because I've noticed that people ask questions. I mean, like, it's one of those things, people want to know how to get better at this game, and it's great to see. I wanted to see how you felt about, so 3.4 was a big update. How did you guys feel about 3.4 just overall?
It was welcome.
There is a lot of good things in it. In my opinion, the game is better now. There is no really downside about it, except maybe for the moral test, which is still for me a problem, but that's minor.
Yeah.
But overall, that's a good addition to the game, and it works pretty well. It works better than prior, so cool. There is maybe things to say about the aircraft.
Yeah.
The flying things may be a little bit too strong, but
And concerning the monsters?
well, there's something to talk about the monster, the big beasts. That's extremely strong, but it's not because of the new version. It's just the game that works like that. That you better take monsters than regular troops, but that's another subject.
But if I can say something, I want to say that if you think about the aircraft rules, when you completely fucked your opponent with the aircraft rule, is because the guy doesn't play to the 3.4.1.
Yeah, he's right.
You have tools to win against the aircraft. If you choose to not use them, so you lose.
Yeah.
Yes, but no, that's a nice addition, and we expect the game to go that way further.
Okay. Have you guys been doing, because one thing 3.4 did a lot of, it's really sort of added on some additional optional rules. Have you guys been, do y'all play sort of the base game, or have y'all been sort of breaking out into some of like the advanced actions and stuff?
No.
We also talk about that the last one. We are not completely.
We don't feel the need to play advanced rules.
Mm-hmm.
The basic games is more than enough, and some of the advanced rules are not very well balanced. So sometimes it breaks the game, and not in a good way. So
we don't talk about deployment styles and special mission rules.
No, you mean special orders?
Only, voilà.
Yeah.
The special orders, some of them are not very well balanced, and some special rules about the command points are broken, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
We quit 40k for the command points. Is not to find them again at OPR.
Yeah. All right. So no advanced rules. We don't feel the need to play them. Sometimes in other tournaments that we don't organize, some people play advanced games, and why not? That could be funny, but not in a regular basis.
Yeah. That's something that some of my group have been playing them more, and I enjoy them. But you're right. The vast majority of OPR that I've played has just been the basic rules, and I really haven't gotten bored with it because there is so much. One, there is so much diversity in what you can bring. When you face someone, they really can just bring a different list, and it plays differently, and it's still just as viable. But that means you have to adjust your tactics.
Yeah, you're right.
So, like, are you also, I know y'all mentioned some of the scenarios. Do y'all play any specific scenarios, or is it just sort of the base scenario?
No. Some of the new scenarios are extrememely good, very well made. So we enjoyed playing them. We played 2 of them during the last tournaments we organized.
Yes.
And it was extremely funny, and
The 2 last ones.
Yeah. Precious Cargo and
Under Fire.
Yeah. Extremely good scenarios, funny and well balanced.
Okay.
So
So
we don't. Pardon, sorry.
no. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We don't just stick to the basic ones.
Okay.
The advanced ones are sometimes pretty good.
What do y'all feel about the advanced? Because that's sort of been introduced and kind of brought in is advanced. I'm sorry. Progressive scoring, where you score every round. How do y'all feel about progressive scoring?
Well,
In my opinion, it's very interesting because you have to choose during the list building how you can feel different scenarios, how you can grab the objectives, how you can click them, how you can score. And it's very difficult to during the list building to think about scoring during the last turn or scoring
during all of the game.
during all of the game.
Yeah.
But I think that scoring at the end of the game or during all the game, that's good to alternate between the two. Because yes, there are some armies that are pretty good to score at the end of the game and some don't. That give anyone a chance, and that's good.
It feels like when you have a tournament, this is just my thought, that when you have a tournament that has both, it sort of forces you to build an army to handle multiple situations. So you sort of can't build your army one way and just say, and so that's something I like about it. Yeah, it's where in the army building, it forces opponents to not just sort of go crazy with one particular strategy.
Yeah, you're right. You have to build an army that can do almost everything. You can stick on a particular kind of play. Like for myself, I play mainly Plague Brothers, which are extremely good to score at the end of the game. But I have to think that maybe I will have to score during all the game. So I have to build my army so it can do everything, almost. And that's a good way because I have to think to think, but not to think genre glue glue. I have to think to build an army that is polyvalent. I don't know.
Yeah.
An all-rounder army.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear too, because
So having both is a good thing.
Yeah, I agree.
The word you search is versatile.
Versatile, multi-purpose.
Multi-purpose army.
I learned a new word today.
No, I think you're right. I think that as long as a tournament has both scoring styles, that's where I think it maybe has some trouble, where you just, like, it's basically all the scenarios are either all progressive scoring or all scoring. It's like, when you mix it up, then you have to have that diversity in play.
You have to choose between going fast and being able to take casualties. Your army have to do the both, and you have to create an army that can do both, and that's good. That's a good challenge.
I agree. So the other thing that I wanted to, because I know you guys are doing your faction breakdowns, and I really enjoyed them. I wanted to kind of pick your brains, because we have heard about there is going to be some army list updates around, I guess it's coming around September. So I think that's sort of, what have you, we don't know a lot about, what's going on with the faction updates. We're not sure, but like, if you were involved, what would you look about changing? Is there any faction maybe you'd buff or nerf, or is there any factions that you would, if you were in charge of the army refluffing, what would you sort of tackle first?
As we said, we think that there is not a lot of work to be done on the OPR system, but on special units like aircraft, monsters, and concerning the vehicles.
Just to be clear, there is some armies that needs to be entirely rebuilt, like the Ratman clans, or the Jackals, or Human Inquisition, that are not very good armies. So if they can do something for it, that would be better. But 3/4 of the armies are already pretty well balanced. So it doesn't need to be rebuilt. But it needs to do something for aircrafts and monsters, and mainly monsters.
Mainly monsters.
And
First of all, monsters.
Yeah. That's just too powerful.
Yeah, I think there is something about, well, like for me, it's monsters. I feel it's like maybe there are certain army lists that have that like you can really like. I think like Alien House is one thing where
Yeah, you're right.
your monsters. It's like some. I would say there's like some armies have monsters, which I think their armament doesn't make them that broken. But with Alien Hives, you can really like tweak and just get them to where like they're either like they have options like play AP4 or play poison and reliable, and it's like I think it's that sort of real customization which makes them like the Hive Lord that can get caster, flying, regeneration, and spell barrier. It's like, oh, maybe we can cut some of that
That's
down.
too much, and the main problem is that your monster is at 100% of his strength until he dies. Even if just 1 HP remaining, it's still 100%.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
it's too strong.
Yeah.
And that's the same for the vehicles, but if you beat them in close combat, they can't fight back, so it's easy to beat them. And they have to take a moral test, and they can fail it. The monster, they can fight back, and pretty hard. So you can't count on this to beat them, you have to kill them, and for some of them it's really hard. I mean, like the Demon Prince, or the Borrowers, for the Alien Hive.
Harbinger.
Harbinger.
In OPR, it's Harbinger.
18 HP with regen is just a little bit too much.
And 2+ defense.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, the monster needs to be less efficient when they lost HPs.
That's good. That's good.
Why not?
Hey, I think you are picking some good armies. I think you're right. Ratmen, Jackals, and especially Human. Those armies, I think, are definitely on the bottom tier.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely low-hanging fruit. That could be, especially because I feel Jackals are. I've had so many players come up to me and say they want to play Jackals because they like the models, they love and it seems to be attracting people, and I think it's sort of sad that this army just didn't get a little more love.
Yeah, you're right. I think they need a rebuild, and most of all they suffer of not having enough units. You always play the same army because there is the choice of units is not wide enough. That's the first point, and the rules are not very good. So
Now how do you
if we can suggest some things to the OPR team, work on this, please.
Yeah. Now, what about one of the things that's an interesting part about OPR is the fact that they are tethering their line to other games. We won't mention which ones. How do y'all ultimately see OPR have to sort of break away from that other game, or are they going to have to? Because that other company is going to produce models, and those models are going to be mainly a specific faction. So, is there a point in which OPR says, Battle Brothers and Prime Brothers have enough models? Let's just sort of, cut it there.
They have to make the balance.
If I understand well, we know, because we talk with them about that, they know that most of the players play with Games Workshop models. That's the fact. So they have to keep those armies. And they have to treat them well, because that's why people came to the game. It's because they already have the models. But we know for sure that they work on their specific armies and their specific models, because, like everyone, they need to get money.
Like they do with the Eternal Dynasty. Like they do with
The story and Star Wars.
Star Wars.
So that's hard for them. That they can't. They have to be a sort of copycat of Games Workshop, because that's what brings them. That's what brings them players.
Yeah.
But they really need to work on their specific armies.
Yeah, I agree.
But Eternal Dynasty is also a very good army.
Yeah, it is, and Story and Star Wars too.
Yeah.
They were pretty well built army. It's fun to play.
But Jackals,
Not really.
Well, it's hard to, and this is something that I guess I would want to know. Like for myself, I would be okay if OPR began to divorce itself from its models. Like I think if for me, I view it as if Jackals need to get better by making models that are outside of the OPR line, I would be okay with that. I mean, I think that would be, what do you kind of think about that? Yeah.
I think that you can play with every model you want, but mainly, I don't know, like almost 80% of players plays with the models they already have.
we talked about that with Paul from the OPR team last week.
Yeah.
And we say to him something like that. In our opinion, OPR at the start is thinking with a rule system. And
Free rule system.
free rule system. That's why it was so interesting for us to play with it. But now, in the future, we don't want to see this really good system becoming a model company.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also that. But I can understand that it's kind of complicated for them, because it's like in the computer world. I mean, there is Microsoft, and you can't do like it doesn't exist. That's the same for the war games. There is the Games Workshop, and everybody knows it, and you can't do like it doesn't exist, or you die.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's great to hear. Yeah, I haven't got a chance to watch that interview with Paul last week. I saw it. But that is, and I think that's great that, I know that the OPR team, and I would say this, compared to Games Workshop, it is an absolute, what's the word? It's an absolute like dream. The amount of, that this company actually listens to their player base. I mean, whether they make the right decisions or not, that's just people. But the fact that they are thinking about their players first, I think is so different than just, what we've had to deal with Games Workshop all these years. So, yeah.
OPR has no movies to sell us, no video games to sell us, no. So it's just a game. So they listen to the players, and that's a great thing. That's because it changed in a good way, and always in a good way, because they listen to us.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I would love to keep you guys on for forever, because I'd love to just pick your brain, about just so many things about some of the tactics and some of the army lists. But I always like to ask this: what if you had I've asked this before. I'll kind of ask it again just in case you haven't watched the previous one. What would be your dream wargaming experience? So suppose that you're billionaires. You're what's that guy's name? The Amazon guy. Suppose you've retired. You got billions of dollars. You got all this time. What would you do as a billionaire? What would your dream wargaming experience be? What would you love to do?
Fun, the fun, even if you are if you have a lot of money. The first thing to think about that is the fun. If you have a lot of money, how can you preserve your fun? If you have nothing to sell, nothing to buy, you have all you want, where is the fun?
Yeah, yeah.
If I have the money, I would like to have every models of every faction possible, and pick whatever I want when I want, just because it's funny. And I'm not a game designer, so I don't think I can create a new game that is better than what's already exists.
Yeah.
So OPR is a great game, and if I have the money, I want all the models that exist in the world. From every manufacturers.
Concerning myself,
Painted.
of course,
Heavy metal quality.
painted by others.
Yeah.
Concerning myself, I want to buy a really, really huge building and make huge tournaments
Oh, that'd
with
be
my
great.
own scenario. A lot of tables, lot of guys with beers.
Something wide enough that you can live in, but there is playing table everywhere,
Everywhere.
and a swimming pool too.
Oh, that'd be great. Wargaming in a swimming pool. How about that? You've got like a moving
castle.
gaming table.
But for
Yes.
gaming,
When you have all you want, you can give fun at all the others.
Yeah. Yeah.
a castle, but for gaming.
Well, that question maybe.
Like Versailles, but with game table everywhere.
Yeah. Well,
I want to be a billionaire now.
Well, I think that's a pretty pertinent question because I don't know if y'all follow, but Games Workshop have just released, or they're going to announce they're doing the Cathay Army for Old World.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I was saying but you know the price on that's going to, so I'm like, you're pretty much going to have to be a billionaire to get a Cathay Army because they are going to, I tell you, like, I want to, like, they are going to run those prices up to the roof. Like, I think that people are, I could see this as just being like, you know, a crazy amount because those models look good and no one else produces it but them. Oh, they're gonna get some people.
Have you seen the stock value of Games Workshop?
I haven't followed
Excuse me, guys, but what sort of company do you talk about? I don't know.
I haven't followed stocks, but I know that they've been doing good for a little while. I mean, they've had a little bit of ups and downs, but last time I checked, their profits are doing really nice. So
40k bucks today.
we've come a long way from, you know, $25 for 10 Marines. So, and even that was expensive for us back in those days. Well, it's always a joy and a pleasure to have you guys talk on. Can you give us just a few things that you that the two of you have planned for the ChaîneSword channel?
Many things.
Yes, but we have to kill you after.
Seriously, we have too many projects and not enough time. Mainly, we have a project about video. We talk about what is broken or not in the game. Deep analysis of that and some kind of a debate where one of us is agree and the other don't, and we talk about that. And mainly for the airplanes, is it broken or not? And the monsters, is it broken or not? And it's broken.
Yes.
And
I think so. Yeah.
And what can we do to make the vehicles working?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's a kind of a debate, and then also break out all the factions, and it takes some time, and more interviews, more battle reports, and more everything,
That's great. Yeah.
And more old school video.
and more lifetime too.
Right.
No, that sounds great, and I'd love to get your opinions on vehicles. I have some pretty strong opinions about vehicles myself. So I'm looking forward to catching that video and getting hearing your insights into that.
Coming soon.
Yeah, very
One
cool.
day, maybe.
Well, I know that. I know, like, you have all these thoughts in your head, but you got the time.
Too
It's
many
like,
ideas.
too many ideas, not enough time. Well, I appreciate you two coming on. I always enjoy your analysis. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to watch your videos because I have to actually watch it and turn on the auto captions. But I really enjoy your analysis, and I appreciate all you guys are doing for the community. So thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you, Dan. You're the best.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.